Now on the CTV News at 5, the search continues for a missing 6-year-old boy in the Crowsnest Pass. Plus, Canada Post workers are on the picket line again. And Alberta teachers prepare to vote on a new tentative contract.
Telling your stories. CTV News Lethbridge with Jackie Scantlebury.
Good afternoon. Thank you for being here. It has been nearly a week since anyone last saw 6-year-old Darius McDougall. RCMP and Search and Rescue have been combing through an area in the Crowsnest Pass since Sunday, trying to find the little boy who became separated from his 6 siblings near his backcountry campsite. Despite no signs of the boy, searchers are not giving up. Carson Marsouk reports.
120 search and rescue members, RCMP and conservation officers have been combing day and night through dense brush and steep terrain since Sunday to find Darius McDougall.
Today, we have additional resources on site, which includes 60 TSG RCMP officers, which is our tactical support group. Their main role will be to supplement our already happening search efforts.
And that number is only expected to grow through the weekend as crews continue to search on foot, in the sky, using drones that play his favorite song, and canines to find Darius. The little boy has autism, which has affected search efforts, like avoiding loud noises. Adam Kennedy says search and rescue crews on horseback have been brought in.
We've asked for all available resources across both British Columbia, Alberta, and Saskatchewan. The nature of Star Volunteers, we anticipate seeing more volunteers available as we go into the weekend and expect to see those numbers bolstered.
The RCMP says Darius was walking with family members when he somehow became separated from the other children Sunday morning near the Alberta-BC boundary. Search efforts will continue through the weekend, but so far not a single clue, footprint, piece of clothing, or speck of blood has been found. Crews have searched 7 square kilometers, with some pathway searches being complete to 10 kilometers from where Darius was last seen.
There's a whole lot of science that goes into the background of the search. They continue to use statistical analysis to determine where Darius may have traveled to and continue to focus the search area based on that statistical analysis.
Still, crews aren't giving up.
Everybody is still very optimistic. They are still out searching and aren't giving up.
Carson Marsouk, CTV News, Crowsnest Pass.
A community support center has been set up at the curling rink in Blairmore. The purpose is to give a safe place where concerned community members can support each other. Nanton RCMP are trying to track down a missing 27-year-old woman who was last seen yesterday at the Chain Lake Provincial Campground. Caitlin Hunter is from Sylvan Lake. She has ties to Lindbergh, Alberta, and may be heading that way, although she doesn't have access to a vehicle. Hunter is 5'3", 125 pounds, blonde hair, blue eyes. Police are concerned for her well-being and would like to speak with her. If you have any information on Hunter's whereabouts, you're urged to contact Nanton RCMP. For the second time this month, City Police investigated a suspicious package at Emmanuel Christian Elementary School. Police were called around 1 o'clock. The explosive disposal unit was brought in. Students were kept safely inside. The package was determined to be no threat to the public. One person has been taken into custody. Meanwhile, 3 women and 1 man are facing charges after a traffic stop by Lethbridge police. Tuesday, LPS received a report of a suspicious vehicle illegally parked in an alley. Officers initially discovered open liquor and tax-exempt cigarettes in the truck. A subsequent search uncovered marijuana, cocaine, fentanyl, methamphetamine, a shotgun, 2 baseball bats, and numerous knives. 41-year-old Lauren Korkak, 35-year-old Chad Mondeau, 35-year-old Anna Switzer, and 46-year-old Leah Plato, all from Lethbridge, face charges. Postal workers have gone on strike for the second time in less than a year. This time, the union has taken issue with Canada Post plans to scale back its services. Quinn Keenan has more.
Lethbridge postal workers are once again picketing outside the main downtown branch. Workers are frustrated to be off the job, but feel they have no choice.
Well, just to be fair, we just want to be fair. We're a Crown corporation. We're for the people. That's why we do our job. We all love our jobs. We all want to go back to work. None of us want to strike.
The issue this time isn't pay or working conditions, but in the potential changes in operations. Yesterday, Canada Post announced plans to end door-to-door delivery by 2030 and lifted a moratorium on closing rural post offices. The Canadian Union of Postal Workers announced a nationwide strike hours later.
It kind of came out of nowhere when the minister came on and announced what he announced, the cutbacks and all this and that. There was no consult or nothing. They just came out and did that. And within an hour and a half, we had shut down and we're back on strike again just for that reason.
It's a blow for local businesses who dealt with delays and increased shipping costs during the last strike. This strike, coming with little notice at the end of the month, is causing more headaches. Many businesses will now need to pay employees or bills by hand.
From a small business perspective, we rely on getting those checks in the mail, or as I need to now hand deliver a bunch of checks today, but even from those people whose driver's licenses are mid-postage right now. There's so many different levels where we rely on our postage service.
The operational changes announced by Canada Post are meant to save money after the corporation posted a $407 million second quarter loss. Canada Post published a statement on their website following the strike that reads, "We're disappointed that the union chose to escalate their strike activity, which will further deteriorate Canada Post's financial situation. No new mail will be accepted during the strike. The union has agreed to once again deliver welfare checks during the labor dispute." Quinn Keenan, CTV News, Lethbridge.
Alberta teachers will vote this weekend on a contract proposal from the province. Meanwhile, Public Interest Alberta is holding a rally today demanding urgent action on education from the UCP government. The group says the province's classrooms are underfunded, overcrowded, and in crisis. They are demanding immediate investment. They are rallying outside Education Minister Dimitrios Nicolaides' office in Calgary. Advocates say Alberta has some of the largest class sizes in the country, and educators are burning out due to increasing student needs and limited support.
We all are very proud of our public education system. It just needs a lot of TLC right now. And we want to send a message that, we're just not seeing that. And it's really disappointing.
Teachers will vote on their contract online Saturday until Monday. Danielle Savoni, we have made it to the weekend. Let's talk about this forecast.
Okay, the forecast looks stunning for the weekend. Not too hot, not too cold. I mean, you remember yesterday, 31 degrees was the high in Lethbridge. It was a little breezy. Today's been a little breezy. A little windy, but you can see also it's headed towards us from the west. Now, the mountains are going to keep all the moisture off to the west, but we will get some cloud cover. So mainly cloudy skies for tomorrow because of this. So we will see some cloudy periods. We'll get a little warmer than this by the weekend. 21 is the temperature right now, quite a difference, 10 degrees in comparison to yesterday. And that goes for most communities. Brooks was in the 30s yesterday, Milk River was in the 30s yesterday, and now 20 and 21. It's 20 in Medicine Hat at the moment as well. Your full forecast just ahead.
All right, thanks, Danielle. Well, the doors have officially opened for a first-of-its-kind supportive housing project in Lethbridge. The Nookawoi Supportive Housing Complex will provide living for those in need of assistance. The name is Blackfoot and translates to My Home. The 30-room complex will provide residents with food, laundry, and cleaning. Future residents will include people with fetal alcohol syndrome, addictions, or mental health issues who likely always need assistance.
We have been planning this project for some time. Since I've started in housing 20 years ago, this has been a dream of various committees to see that one day we will have a supportive housing unit here in Lethbridge, and it's now finally a reality.
The project was budgeted for $10.2 million, but according to the province, has come in under budget. A petition is circulating against the new Alberta Disability Assistance Program, or ADAP. Daryl Leary has severe anxiety, chronic depression, and is autistic. He has been relying on Alberta's assured income for the severely handicapped for nearly 30 years. The UCP government is changing AISH, shifting to ADAP, which means some $200 less per month and a reduction in the amount people can earn before the benefits are clawed back.
You're starting from such a small pot, a small income to begin with, so any little change is a big change relative to you, right?
We're going to see people with less income. That's going to result in more food bank usage, possibly homelessness.
Leary started an online petition that now has more than 900 signatures. The province does not accept online petitions, so he has switched to a hard copy. That now has nearly got 200 signatures. ADAP comes into effect July 2026. Alberta is once again the hottest destination for Canadians looking to call a new province home. For the third straight year, Statistics Canada data shows Alberta leading the country in net interprovincial residents from April to June. The province added 6,100 interprovincial migrants. That's bumped Alberta's population up over 5 million people for the first time.
Each of the last 2 years, Alberta has added 200,000 people. So think about that like adding a Lethbridge and a Red Deer each year for the past 2 years. And all the houses that are in those places, we need to build those again. We think we'll build more than 50,000 houses this year, probably more houses than at any time in history.
And interprovincial migrants don't even make up the largest share of new residents. More than 11,000 international migrants found a home in Alberta last quarter. With fall in the air, the Chief Mountain Port of Entry is set to close for the season after this weekend. About 49,000 travelers used the border crossing to enter into Canada this season, which is down 8,000 from last year. As a result of the harsh winters and high elevation, the port only operates from May to September. The border crossing is set to close 6 p.m. on Tuesday. A City of Lethbridge employee is being honored by the Last Post Fund. Eugene Wilson found that what he thought was a sculpture at a recycling plant, but it turned out to be a veteran's ashes. Wilson found what he thought was a dolphin sculpture after looking for an artist's name. He discovered it was an urn. It contained the ashes of World War II veteran Rufus Clark, who died in 1995. The ashes were later interned at the National Field of Honor in Pointe Claire, Quebec. The Last Post Fund presented Wilson and Martin Brothers Funeral Chapels for helping to identify Clark's ashes. The Nikiyoko Japanese Gardens will be much busier than usual this weekend. The gardens are hosting the North American International Yosakaki Festival. Yosakaki is a type of high-energy Japanese dance, oftentimes performed at festivals. 12 teams from Canada, the U.S., and Japan are taking part. Performances parade at 9:30 tomorrow around Henderson Lake Park, which will kick off the festivities. And the festival will be held at the Bunka Center all weekend long. Danielle is back with the weekend forecast right after this break. Also, how BC researchers are using artificial intelligence in the fight against cancer.
All right, Skywatch weather camera in the distance, the far distance, you can see some cloud cover. We will have more clouds building in for the weekend, so it won't be as bright tomorrow in comparison to all the sun that we had today. Right now, it's that mix of sun and cloud, but mainly sunny. 18 was the high in Calgary. We had a significant cool down today, about 10 degrees on average for communities in southern Alberta. So it was hot yesterday and then normal, closer to normal anyway for today. And then we will bounce back up. We're kind of going back and forth. Fall is a transitional season. It's the way it goes. 18 degrees was the high in Calgary and Edmonton, similar in Regina at 19. Same thing for Thunder Bay, and then into the lower 20s for Toronto and through Ottawa, Montreal, and parts of Atlantic Canada. Looking closer to home here, yeah, this is quite a difference a day makes, as they say. Brooks, Lethbridge, Milk River were in the 30s yesterday at this time, and now in the lower 20s. Calgary again at 18, same as Pincher Creek. Medicine Hat at 20. It was a gusty day, 70 kilometers per hour is the max gust in Pincher Creek. Lethbridge closer to 60, Medicine Hat as well. It will still be windy tomorrow, but less windy. So you're looking at 40 to 50 kilometers per hour. I'll show you that in the forecast in just a second here. Also, we have a frost advisory in place for areas to the east of Drumheller. These areas will dip to the freezing mark tonight. So some damaging frost certainly possible there. All right, check out what's headed towards us. Again, the mountains are going to hold off the moisture and keep that off to the west, but we will get some clouds that will make their way in. They're already starting to creep their way in. Just to show you on the future cast here, that builds in for tomorrow. There will still be some sunny breaks, but likely mainly cloudy skies from this. That will continue through Saturday. And then Sunday, it should start to break apart, and we should see more sun than cloud on Sunday, but less warmth on Sunday, believe it or not. I'll show you the long range in just a moment here. Okay, here's a look at the gusts. 50 kilometers per hour for the next couple of hours possible, and then dying down to 30 in the overnight hours. This is for the East Kootenay area. Tomorrow, a high of 22 with gusts in the afternoon around 40 kilometers per hour with a mix of sun and cloud. Crowsnest Pass mainly cloudy by tomorrow. 70 kilometer per hour gusts tonight, and then quieting down in the overnight hours back to 50 for tomorrow with a high of 22. Medicine Hat, 9 tonight, gusts from 40 down to 20 over these next couple of hours, then picking back up to 40 tomorrow. Mainly sunny though in Medicine Hat. All the cloud cover should be off to the west of the Medicine Hat area for tomorrow, so Medicine Hat will get up to a high of 25 degrees. Okay, for the longer range forecast here, 26 degrees for Lethbridge tomorrow. That's a nice Saturday, especially considering it's fall. Late September. Okay, gusts out of the west at 40 kilometers per hour tomorrow afternoon and mainly cloudy skies. More sunshine on Sunday, but as you can see, the temperatures will be cooler. You're looking at a high of 20, if that, maybe only 19. 27 though, so back to the heat to kick off the next week. And National Day for Truth and Reconciliation on Tuesday, you're looking at a high of 23 degrees.
BC cancer researchers have developed a groundbreaking innovation in the fight against gynecological cancer. As CTV's Dimitra Maragos reports, it could be a game changer in treatment and diagnosis.
According to doctors and researchers at BC Cancer, endometrial cancer is increasing in both incidence and mortality.
This is an incredibly common disease. It's the most common gynecologic cancer.
Doctors Jessica McAlpine and Ali Bashashati, both leading researchers at UBC and BC Cancer, say their new pilot project aims to address the critical gap in gynecological cancer research through AI.
AI brought us up a level to add that level of precision.
They say this new addition of AI has helped identify high-risk endometrial cancers that traditional methods can often miss, and can help doctors discern a more tailored treatment plan.
Patterns are there. It's just that we're using AI to be able to identify those.
Dr. Bashashati,
those are the tissue samples,
walked us through what they analyze when receiving samples from patients.
We call it AI screen.
AI reviews the samples.
AI and it puts them into one of the buckets of like, okay, it's a good responder or like a poor responder.
The technology provides more specific information than previous approaches.
AI thinks that this is the area of the tissue that is contributing to aggressiveness of the disease. And that helps us to validate the findings.
Both doctors explain that the implementation of this technology could create treatment plans
that doesn't have any boundaries
and may not force those from rural communities to come to the Lower Mainland for treatment and testing.
That's a very impactful for those patients who will tell you how difficult it is to leave their support.
Adding the use of AI could bring optimism to what can be a diagnosis fraught with anxiety.
I think it does give us hope for that individual to change their trajectory.
Now, this technology isn't available to the masses yet. The trial is set to kick off in January. Dimitra Maragos, CTV News, Vancouver.
Still ahead on the CTV News at 5. 2 unbelievable skateboard world records have been broken. Sports is up next. It's set to be another busy weekend across the WHL. The Hurricanes and Tigers are both in action. Tonight, the Canes will play host to the Saskatoon Blades. That goes at 7. Tomorrow, Lethbridge heads up Highway 2 for a quick road trip to Red Deer. They'll play the Rebels at 6. Medicine Hat Tigers will be on the road for the first time this season tonight. They're in Swift Current, taking on the Broncos at 7. Tomorrow, they'll be back at home hosting the Blades at 7. Brooks Bandits are looking to continue their strong start to their title defense. Here's a look at what they're up to this weekend. Tonight, they'll play the Blackfalds Bulldogs for the first time this season at home. That contest goes at 7. Tomorrow, they will be on the road in Sherwood Park for another Game 7 as well. Cranbrook Bucks are also in action this weekend. They continue their road trip to start the season as they take on the West Kelowna Warriors tonight at 7. Tomorrow, it's back to Vernon, where the Bucks beat the Vipers 6-0 last week. Puck drop for that one is at 6 o'clock. Not to be outdone, the Lethbridge post-secondaries also have plenty on the docket this weekend. The Pronghorns women's soccer team They'll travel to Calgary tomorrow for a match with the MRU Cougars at 1. Women's rugby, meanwhile, is headed all the way to Vancouver for a date with the UBC Thunderbirds at 1. On Sunday, women's soccer will have a rematch with the Cougars, also at 1. And men's soccer will be at home playing that day, playing the Saskatchewan Huskies 2:15. Quiet weekend for the Kodiaks with just a pair of games on the schedule. Both soccer teams are in Calgary tomorrow, playing the Ambrose University Lions. The women's game is at noon, followed by the men at 2:15. A Lethbridge speed skater is one step closer to becoming an Olympian. Mika Eves is a finalist in the RBC Training Ground competition. RBC Training Ground identifies athletes with Olympic potential and offers the winners financial support and mentoring. Eves was listed among the top 100 finalists nationwide. The short track speed skater was one of 2,500 athletes who tried out. The national finals are November the 1st in Vancouver, where 35 winners will be chosen. To Brazil, where a skateboarder has set 2 new Guinness World Records in spectacular fashion. Sandro Diaz broke the records for the tallest drop-in and fastest speed on a skateboard on a temporary quarter pipe. He conquered a 22-story building, hitting a speed of more than 103 kilometers per hour. Diaz skated from a height of 70 meters with a drop of 60 meters along a building known by locals as the ultimate ski ramp.
Are you kidding me?
The skateboard from one of the most legendary moments in the history of the sport has set another record. Tony Hawk's board from his landmark 900 trick has sold at auction for $1.5 million US, a record for a piece of skateboarding memorabilia. The American was the first skater to land the move during the 1999 X Games. The proceeds go to Hawk's charity that builds public skate parks in underserved areas. Still ahead on the CTV News at 5, some rather unusual new Guinness World Records when we come back. Well, yesterday we showed you Beef, the giant Holstein from Vulcan, that's being recognized in the 2026 Guinness World Records book. And Beef is joined by some extraordinary donkeys, too.
Bamboo has really long ears, so you would expect him to have really good hearing. But in my opinion, sometimes I think he's deaf, or is it just to us?
At 167 centimeters tall, Derek the donkey took home the prize for the tallest living donkey, while his companion Bambo won the title for longest ears at just under 90 centimeters. Now, Norbert the pig here also scored a spot, pushing a skateboard 10 meters in 11 seconds. And what started as a crazy list of what could be turned into a car ended with the award for the longest banana car. More than 2,000 new records were added to this year's edition. Thank you for sharing this time with us tonight. Now here's the early edition of the CTV National News.